We've been told that democracy is on the ballot, but is the ballots working? Are the ballots working? Let's take a look at what's happening in Maricopa County right now, today, Election Day, November 8th.
We did want to come out and discuss one issue that's going on out there in about 20% of the vote centers. Again, we have 223 vote centers.
20% of the vote centers, okay.
Across the county. In about 20% of those, when people will go and they try and run the ballot through this tabulator, maybe 1 out of every 5 or so of those ballots, they're not going.
Just 1 out of every 5. Now, just to repeat exactly what he said, in about 20% of the ballot places in Maricopa County, they're having problems with 20% of the ballot machines. So it's not 20% of all ballots in Maricopa, it's 20% of 20%. Theoretically, that's what they're saying to us now. In practice, this is what it looks like. Here, let's get the audio in this video.
So I pulled my ballot in, but so it got misread, but then what was happening?
Put it in there.
Yeah.
And tonight, a Republican and a Democrat will sit and go through all of the misread ballots all over the county.
Okay.
And count them. And it will get counted.
Okay. And
okay.
Both machines were not working. Yeah.
No, nothing's working in the last half hour. Nothing.
Thank you. So I pulled my ballot in, but.
All right, so just put it in there and we'll count it later. What could go wrong? Well, Adam D. Brown, he has a theory. He is the founder of the Dwayne Group, President Dwayne Holdings, entrepreneur, speaker, investor, influencer, whoever he is. Here's his theory. Maricopa County knows that Republicans, A, vote overwhelmingly on election day, and B, actually have jobs and can't stand in line all day. So it's simple. Machines break down, so lines are formed. Right, it's a pretty good theory there, Adam. What does our favorite candidate say? And before I go through this tweet from Kari Lake, let's be really clear that she's really smart in coming out in the middle of the election day and actually coming up with specific instructions for her supporters who are waiting in line. So here's what she says. If you have already checked in at a Maricopa County voting location where the tabulators do not work, do not leave. Or you should not leave and go to another location. In other words, don't leave. Your provisional ballot at the new location will likely not count. So if you don't leave, what do? Well, next text simultaneously the same minute this morning, 11:31. If you have already checked in, you can wait for your ballot to be tabulated on site. You can use the handicap voting machine. Well, that's probably not fair to the people at handicap. Maybe if you didn't think about that. Or you can leave your ballot in the box to be counted later, which seems like it's the most path of least resistance and what was discussed by the election official earlier. You can insert it in there and they'll bring it to the central voting counting room thingy where both a Republican observation and a Democratic observation and a Democratic poll worker, Republican poll worker will then count the ballot as if it was actually kind of like an early voting or an absentee ballot. So this headline is making its way around Twitter. You wonder why they post it. Election night results might not indicate final tallies, and that's why it's okay. In other words, decades ago, we used to be able to count all the votes and give you the results that night, even the most closest races you knew by midnight or so, or worst case, first thing in the morning. But now it's okay. You might have a red mirage, but we'll figure out a way to get rid of that when we find some other votes. Yeah, that's just fine. Notice how this headline is posted. In parentheses, and why that's okay. So here in beautiful Massachusetts, behind enemy lines, I found effectively the same headline. From the Boston Globe, why we don't likely know the results for election day. Look at that, the parentheses are exactly the same, and why that's okay. My son just flew back to Arizona last night. I touched base with him about this election issue there, but he's a college kid, so yeah, he's not going to be a good source for that. But we will keep you posted here as developments warrant. I'm John F. Gately. You can call me Jack, in beautiful Plymouth, America's hometown, Massachusetts. Behind enemy lines. Have a great day.